Hey folks, thank you so much for joining us. Today we have with us Ali Saggu, came to Canada right before COVID, 2019, then had a very interesting journey, went on to do his MBA from the most prestigious university, Rotman, and then, of course, circle back into the workforce. So just that was just a little bit of an introduction, then I'll give Ali you the opportunity if you can get started by telling us a little bit about yourself first.
Hello, Saad bhai. Hi, everyone. I'm Ali Saggu, and I came to Canada in 2019. So my journey was very interesting. I did my engineering in Pakistan from a college called GIK, and then venturing into different job roles, starting from Telecom, Nokia, and then moving into more of mobile industry and digital industry. I ventured out into my own company, established that for a while, and then I got an opportunity to consult in US. Then I lived that life. I went to US and I consulted with open source digital technologies for about 2 3 years. And from there, I got an opportunity to actually work into the experience design side of the digital world. It was very, very interesting. People were all talking about it. So I decided to move to Dubai after living 2 3 years in Canada, in the US, in New York. Uh, Leading to that, I spent a good significant 7 8 years in Dubai, had a very great life. I was working for one of the most renowned media publications in Dubai. From there, came down to a point that I had to settle down and I had to plan for my future. So I moved to Canada. Uh, and yeah, moving to Canada was when, a lot of things changed, and uh, it was back in 2019.
Yeah. So you went to school. So tell me what led you to your motivation to do your MBA? And we were just discussing about buying a house versus doing an MBA and the money that you invested in doing the MBA. So how did that decision come about?
Well, Saad, when an entrepreneur mindset, when that kind of a person comes here, because back in Dubai, I was able to establish a whole digital department uh, for the media company I was working for and scale it up to a significant level of money making cow for the whole group. With that mindset, I came here. I was like, I'm going to start something here. I'm going to move some of the those power here, establish, gather clients, start rolling in things, and uh, of course, very soon I realized the market is very different. The appetite is different. So I thought, why not just start a company of my own and start building a product that I always wanted to. But during that journey and right after, I secured some of the funding and I saw, digital, uh, you know, people talking about courses. I saw incubators. I saw there was a lot of knowledge that people had to share. And that's when I realized that I was missing a lot of, understanding of this world. So I started looking into colleges. What are my options? I had my company, I had established a new startup, I was struggling to get clients and make innovative solutions. But at the same time, I started looking into that domain. And came Rotman. I applied. Luckily, I got an interview with the director. Long story short, I got an admission back in 2020. But because it was the high peak season of COVID, I thought that online is not gonna do me justice because I want to know the world. I want to know how Canadians work, how the industry works, so I could be able to build my own business here. Uh, I thought there was no other way. If I even work for a company, it's gonna take me years and years to get myself, understanding of the market environment. Uh, if you remember, I used to ask you a couple of questions back then, right? So I think yeah, that's when I asked them if I could defer it to next time when we will actually have in-person classes, and that's what happened. In 2021, I started doing my MBA, and I believe that was out of the gains of knowledge and learning of this whole environment that I
And also
wanted to
just
call
the
myself.
learning aspect as well, and also the network that you build, right? So essentially, the network kind of really helps you in making new entry points into whatever you're pursuing. But with that being said, what is now one day in the life of Ali Saggu? What do you do? Where you are? How do things go about on a day-to-day basis for you?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I am consulting for an enterprise, very large scale enterprise conglomerate. They're based out of Cincinnati, but they have their presence all over the world. I haven't been able to count, but they have probably more than 200 brands that they service the market with. And luckily, I am working I'm leading their D2C transformation. So a day in my life, there are multiple teams working under me. Some of the teams that I have built through an agency or myself, and there are multiple other vendors like Accenture and Wipro that I manage. So a typical day for me starts off with meetings and ends with meetings. So pretty much 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I am all day in meetings.
Well, meetings are also good, but but your role is more of an architect role, right? That's what you talked about, or some
Yeah,
different kind of role?
it's more of an architectural strategic role. So I look at the whole, like I said, I look at the whole D2C program. And in that world, wherever things are working, then, there are teams who are project managing different initiatives. And I have to look after them when they face challenges from a holistic point of view, from a strategic point of view, align with their internal architects and their, management leadership,
And just for the benefit of the viewers, D2C, you mean
direct to consumer.
consumer?
So it's
Perfect.
it's in short phrase, you can say e-commerce side of the business,
Perfect.
which
Good.
is these days becoming significant. And just for everyone's knowledge, I work a lot with Shopify.
Amazing. So one last question for you, Ali, and that is for those folks who are planning to pursue. So I'll specifically ask the question regarding the MBA because this is a route that not many people take, and a lot of folks come up with a question that should we pursue the MBA or not. What is your recommendation about doing an MBA, and especially from which school? That's the first one. And in your space, what would be your advice for those folks who are coming out here to Canada? So two-part question, whichever one you want to address first.
Great, good question, Saad. I think everyone has their own journey in Canada. That they struggle on their own side, and whatever I have been through, even if I am to give advice to anyone, they would decide on their own. But if I can break this down, in 2021, I had very few network connections of my own, right? And especially even little professional network. In 2023, after I did my MBA, I had a whole alumni in Toronto based who I can reach out to whatever I need. And in addition to that, I had a group of 60 class fellows who are binded together, and they are in different places. One is heading Enercon, and one is heading, Deloitte, KPMG. So those kind of conversations I could not have before, having an MBA. And just like one of my good friends said once that if somebody from a significant Canadian school is applying for a job, we consider that person as one of us. So I think it's a route less taken, but it's definitely very fruitful. It's very hard to go down with an MBA to maintain a family, to work, to make your end meet. But I think the benefit lies within how you can actually multitask.
Absolutely. No, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Ali, for taking the time out today, and we really appreciate that. And hopefully, we'll reach out to you in the future if we have any more things that we need to talk about.
Definitely, I'm happy to help anyone I can and guide them through their part of the struggle.
Perfect. Thank you.